Great. So I'll just move to the next topic is about online events. So due to COVID and the lockdown, all events became online. So the biggest of artists then designed events and it could be paid or free and all. It depended on the format and the artist and the brand. So there was a major clutter for these kind of events, and marketers had to break through the clutter to market their particular event. So I'll start with Muskaan on any innovative techniques you've seen by the marketers to market online events.
So, okay, I'll be very honest, due to COVID, everything has moved online, right? So even we are just 24/7, on the screen. So I have not per se attended, or maybe I'm not like, marketed a very good online event per se. But, I actually came up with a technique I would like to share that, people out there could might use it. So, the bigger question in online events is that it's very sometimes when you talk about physical events, you're going with there are like people, there are physical people working, there are volunteers working in the online event, the physical event where they're going out giving pamphlets, they're going a lot of door-to-door step marketing that's going on. But with the online event, how do you do it, right? At an extent, it is an exhaustive process. But I think the innovative online event marketing techniques should include like the how customers are approached, reaching out more than rather just email or phone marketing. Whereas, not just collaborating with influencers or bloggers, but personally reaching to them by solving their issue. For example, hypothetically, there is a kids online event and there's a new mom and COVID-19 has like I've almost seen everyone getting pregnant, everyone having a baby, and starting a new life. But and for a new mom, it's overwhelming process. They don't know anything and they want to do the best. But in and especially when this pandemic, they're even more stressed because babies are a very easy target for the virus to come in. But how you can assess this, for example, there's a kids online event and there are gynecologists, there are pediatricians, there are also kids or people who do kids wear brand. Everyone's joining in for an online event, and you reach out to that mom. You first congratulate them and say congratulations for your baby, and we understand this time is very stressful for you yet overwhelming. We would like to inform you that we have a pediatrician on board, we have a gynecologist on our board, we also have someone who can guide you thoroughly for your baby. So, and a mother, everyone knows, will do always the best. They will try to be the perfect mother they can be. So identify their problem, offer them a solution first rather than simply informing them, is what I feel is an innovative marketing technique. Because if you solve a problem for them, I can 200% guarantee you they will definitely come to that online event because they want to know the solution. You create a mystery for them, and you tell them that you have full day whenever you are free, whenever your baby is asleep, you can join for 15-20 minutes. We can give you a priority list, and if you sign up right now, we can give you a priority list rating right now. So in that way, the mother is going to be like, yes, let me just sign me up, and then I will be there. And then she knows she has to be there for 15-20 minutes. She can interact, but yet you're getting footfall. And then when she eventually joins, then you have the access that you make her go direction towards, through kids web brands, through the sponsors and everything. But creating a mystery and solving their problem is, I feel, should be another innovative technique that should be used.
That's right. Shubhrika, any example you can give of any innovative campaign for marketing an event?
Yeah, so few things that I have in mind to touch upon. Now, you can take event marketing in two perspectives. I think one is, of course, marketing the event specifically before you have the event to get more signups, get more people to attend the event. And then the other thing is using that event as a platform to market your brand. That's what a lot of us are doing anyway with webinars, right? Those are all online events, but everybody knows that webinar is just a sales pitch with a lot of free content, right? So one thing, when you're using that entire event as a marketing platform for yourself, is one, to count the audience in beforehand also. So like Muskaan is mentioning very specifically that of course we have to identify problems, and marketing is all about more of purpose now than it is anything about, pricing or where you're selling, any of the other P's of marketing that we know. It's more so about purpose now. Until and unless, I have an end goal, a good purpose of mine, a good why, that whatever I'm doing, how is it benefiting the entire world around me, it's kind of pointless. It's not going to speak to the audience. So yeah, one thing is that counting the audience in, how am I as a person, as a marketer of a brand, going to get to know what the problems are that my people are facing? So what I like to do a lot of times is, whenever I'm in a question mark situation, or I don't know what more content to create or what should I be doing out there, putting out there, I'll just go up to story polls or LinkedIn polls, anything for that matter, even polls in email sequences. Ask the audience itself, what do they want from you? That's number one, because whatever we are doing is for the audience in the first place. So making them feel heard, making them feel counted is the first step for me. And then creative ways of doing marketing for an event that's coming up. Two things that I've seen already is, like Muskaan said, we used to do door-to-door marketing. The new aspect of it, or the new concept of it, can be DMs, going into people's DMs and actually reaching out to them personally. That's what we've been doing for some time now with a lot of poetry events. So I think in the last few months, we've done very few number of live poetry events, because people are not ready to show up or pay at least for your poetry events in person. But then they will be willing to do that online, right? It's cheaper, that's one thing. And then they're safe too. So that whole dynamic is shifting. So when we do poetry events, it's all just about a lot of performers coming together and performing for the people out there. So there'll be people who are just there to listen, and then there'll be people who are there to perform as well. Reaching out to people, like, one is influencer marketing. Muskaan has already touched upon that. Sliding into DMs, going to people with questions, what the people want from you, and actually working on that are two major steps. The other is, it remains influencer marketing. So connecting with people who already have a big audience, right? So they can do the event marketing for you. But one superb thing that I'm seeing is network marketing, this pyramid structure that brands like, I've only heard of Amway do this, and they're not so trusted as of now in India, at least. But that pyramid structure is working wonders, because they're using company events, and how they market it is just through their entire pyramid community, right? That's one too. I think the other can be going live and doing online together. That's offline and online events together. FNB Media is one place that I know has been doing this for the last few months. And I did my book launch in the pandemic situation only. September was still a very fresh situation when we were just starting to unlock. So that was my go-to strategy, to connect to people one-to-one and actually address them with their names, not just send out a copied and pasted text. That does not work at all. Responding to comments, all of this is very digital and very social specific. But then that is where you are getting most of your audience today.
That's right. And I feel the events, obviously now we are returning back to normal situation and events are being allowed. That will increase with the cinema halls and all people not visiting. There will be a lot of artists who can use certain spaces who have events, and also now the challenge is how you market these events. And because that market of having the events per se, like having for your brand or for you as a like a celebrity or something, or a coach or anything,
Yeah.
that will increase. So you have to know how to now market it, and reach out, and obviously all the clutter. So this is going to be a it is a very important thing to explore for marketers, where how you will obviously reach out and connect with an audience. And Muskan's point of the problem, identifying a problem in a certain, you can say, target audience, that was very good, because that shows the concern that is expressed by the brand to solve that problem.
Yeah.
And once you show that concern for that pain point, then that is where that connection with the brand is going.
You know,
Right. Absolutely.
before we move on from this topic, I would like to touch upon one point of physical events. Is that I don't know if you're aware of, is one is Little Flea, and the other one is Bollywood Music Project, which is an annual Bollywood music or concert style 2-day fest they do in Mumbai. So, I think what happened was that when Little Flea started, they began with like so hush rush that everyone began and Little Flea became hyped, right? And over the time when they did the second session, they did the third, it just became repetitive. I feel the events, online events, has to also take care of the fact that they should not be repetitive,
Yeah.
because when physical events itself we got so bored that Little Flea was doing three thrice a year events, where it used to be an annual event and everyone used to be so excited for it. Everyone used to be like, okay, we need to block these dates for our calendar, that's it. But it's like now it's because they do thrice a year, like chalo, we'll go anytime, and whenever we'll miss this month, ko bani 3 months later we can go again. Whereas Bollywood Music Project, they've been doing for now 4 5 years, and they invite up to 30 artists for 2 days from 2 to 11 in the night, and where there is like continuous performance, bands happening, and but that happens only once a year in December. And it is grand. They are in Geo Gardens, and in 2 days they are packed. They have youngsters, they have senior citizens. Why? Because they're connecting the dots with Bollywood, with Hindi music, with creating old essence, nostalgia. And even when this event did not happen due to COVID, they did not move online actually. They did not, because they did not. Why? Because what they did was that what I really liked, that they actually kept doing the nostalgic moments from their past concerts for the whole of 8 to 10 months. Now when the whole situation of us being going back to the new normal, with the new normal norms, where we have B2B exhibitions at the moment currently, and slowly steadily, maybe you never know, in December we'll be running concerts and everything with all the situation that we have. And what I really found is that they did not join the bandwagon, but they still maintained the social presence, they still connected the dots. They like for example, they did these Spotify playlists for the online. So they provided Spotify playlist links, or they provided customized tailored playlists for their consumers or their customers who might have missed BMP, who are, due to COVID. And that what really touched me, that someone is out there who knows that they might be going suffering huge losses because they're not doing an event for annually, and but they're still caring for the customers. They're still not stopping the fact that they are connected to the audience on the aspect of music.
Yeah.
They're getting artists, maybe doing lives in between, but they are like trying to recreate. They're trying to post old pictures of people having fun and giving the optimism to people that we will be back soon. That's what I really like. So maybe the repetitive content needs to be what they have to take care of. Lights
Yeah.
are overdone now, reels are overdone now. So that's, I think, I wanted to touch upon.
True. So true about the reels point. We're just really sick of seeing people mouthing stuff with pre-recorded songs in the background, or just dialogues from movies. That has got to stop now.
I mean, I think Instagram saw an opportunity and just
Yeah.
that's it. That's how we
So,
can
so true.
end the thing with that.